I'm Wynn Austin. I'm the founder of Wynn's Kitchen. One of my passions outside of cooking is connecting with other founders and entrepreneurs. So I want you guys to meet my dear friend, Dissaya. She's the founder of Shroomeats today. Hi, Dissaya. How are you?
Hi, Wynn. Thank you for having me on your first podcast or one of the first. I'm not sure, but I'm very the first one. Yeah, I'm very honored, and I'm really excited for your podcast because I've seen all your cooking videos on Instagram, and I absolutely believe that can expand. And I'm following all your recipes, and it's great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I definitely want to learn a little bit about you. I know I love your products. I've used, the shroom meatballs are my favorite. Can you tell me a little bit about what was the inspiration behind starting your business, and tell us a little bit about your business?
Absolutely. So Shroomeats is the company, myself, and my partner started together with the belief of wanting to create something that's even more sustainable for meat alternative options. So basically I was cooking a lot for my mom, and just like your story, everything starts from our own kitchen. I was exploring the recipes, and I'm like, I really want my mom to eat something a little bit more hearty rather than just vegetables. So Shroomeats started because we were using a lot of shiitake mushroom, and also all three of us, the co-founders, we love eating. And no matter how healthy we want to get, like, it has to be good. It has to be delicious. So we're like, okay, why don't we? Right. Yeah, like, you have to enjoy your food, right? So we just kind of explored around, and we're like, there can be something that is a mushroom based that you can cook for any of the dishes, that you can, like, that will adapt to all the flavors, no matter what culture background you come from. So that was really our main goal. And something that's bigger than that too was the sustainability, the sustainable approach to it, because we're like, okay, well, there have been a lot of issues and a lot of approaches to the sustainability side of where we are right now in the world, but there's just so much you can do. So that was one thing we were like, okay, mushrooms really grow fast. It takes about 6 months and you can harvest it, and it takes much less water, much less land, and it grows in the humid area. So we source them from northern Thailand, and we're like, okay, it's perfect. We took a few years to explore the recipes just to get it right. And we're still developing every day. So that was our background, how everything started with Shroomeats. We studied the market, burger patties, balls, and shredded as ground meat were our first three babies. So that's how it started.
That's awesome. And so have you seen a big, huge growth in like plant-based foods? Because I've been hearing a lot like in the marketplace, like, how there's a huge trend towards people going towards plant-based diet.
I feel like the last 2 years it exploded. Like, to be honest, I'm like, oh my God. Because the first time really we thought about like, hey, something like Shroomeats, we didn't have the name back then, but we're like, there could be something that's made of mushroom, that's pure, that's cleaner, and like on the shelves. And that was 5 to 6 years ago when I was going to UCLA. And like a few years later, there are more. And just last year, it's just like, boom, like everything exploded. So there has been a huge trend, and it's really nice to see that in the market, with the awareness of how people see the food now, not just how they eat, but how it's been produced, and everything behind, before you get a meal on your table. So
I do feel like people are more conscious about like where their food comes from, looking at the labels more. So I completely agree with you. And even for me, I eat meat, but I always try to eat at least, 5-6 meals a week, that, between either lunch or dinner, where it's vegetarian, where it's completely plant-based. So that's awesome.
Totally. And
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, speaking of reading the labels, your sauce is something that I go back and I read all the time. And I'm like, wait, no way. Like that's all the ingredients. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's so good because you have so many flavors in that. And I just told you that my father-in-law doesn't eat spicy, but he just like, oh my God, it's so good.
I love
There's
it.
just like there's so many flavors. I have to keep going back. I'm like, wait, but where did this flavor like come from? So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because it's really good.
Thank you so much. And I feel the same about your product because, like I love vegetables. I do eat meat, but I love vegetables. And but I'm not a huge fan of like the other fake meats where it's like artificial, there's like artificial or like where it's not, doesn't seem like it's real food, where your product is like mushrooms, like shiitake mushrooms, which I love. So I feel the same about your product, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you wish you had known when you were starting out in your business, because I think we both know how hard it is. So
Right. So
yeah.
I just whispered to myself, oh my God, everything. Yeah, I wish I knew everything. To be honest, it's like I didn't have background in business. I did architecture, I did tourism, I went to school for sustainability, but it's nothing close to starting your own business and just like stick to it. I think oh my gosh, like everything to go back. I wish I knew more on the financial side for sure. And team building.
Yeah.
That's absolute, like, that's the foundation of your company.
Yeah.
And just stick to your plan, but also stay flexible, which that's something that I've been able to apply to my own journey. And it's great. I think everything will come in place and you just have to keep learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the basic knowledge you should have, the finances, the business plan, getting the right advisors around you, and just keep learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think one thing that could hurt you the most is the financial part. So make sure that you have a good foundation or a good plan that you can really execute.
Absolutely. I mean, even myself, I come from a finance background and, in business, but it's still a challenge, and there's so many surprises in this industry, the food industry, that I never thought of, like, just like think about distributors, how they charge, or, the wholesale price versus retail price. So there's so many aspects on the financial side that I feel that we all have to navigate and be
Absolutely.
not to lose money.
Right. And then your branding too. I think that's another thing too, is like I said, everything, right? Like I can keep going, but I'm just gonna bring out the important things. But branding is something that's also very important too. Everyone starts with like, oh, I know my brand, this is how I'm gonna sell, but you are gonna have to keep learning and studying the market and really know what to say to your customers, because you will have to stand out. So relearning,
Every day.
knowing what to say, knowing what to sell. That's one of the most important thing. Your brand needs to be different from the market, and otherwise you're not going to stand out. So
Yeah,
you have to know your brand.
I totally agree with you there. Can you tell me give me a moment what was the first most proudest moment that you had in your business?
Ooh. The smallest, proudest moment was when Mary and I were able to get ourselves on the shelf in Santa Monica. And it was a small, family-owned, super friendly people. We were like, oh my God, we're on the shelf. And that was success. Because this is really, always imagined and dreamed of our products being on shelf. So the first time that happened was a big success. But don't get stuck in that success. You have to keep going. Like, yeah, it is big, but also it's small. You have to keep going. And I think alongside that too is along the business journey, you're gonna find the obstacles like your customers are gonna not like some parts of your brand or product, or the pricing is not right. So everything will become a problem solving game for you. And when you're able to like tackle that down one by one, that's like meant to that applies with your business, right? Like you have to keep growing, you have to keep improving.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so can you tell me who inspires you?
Ooh, I would say my mom. Um, Actually, there are a lot of things, but my mom definitely inspired me to cook because she became a vegetarian a long time ago, and I'm the chef of the house. So basically I cooked for everybody. So she's like the one that kind of got this happen with me, like, okay, mom wants something more hearty. Let's make something better for her. And also traveling, because I've just been eating a lot of food in different parts of the world, and seeing nature kind of made me enlightened about like, oh, we should do something about it, because I know things like, okay, this is out of my comfort zone, but if I stay in here, nothing's gonna happen. You have to like just keep stepping out of it. But yeah, as long as you're not in danger, right? Don't jump off the airplane.
Right. This is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Well, we're making it happen.
Right. And I think about it, I get messages all the time from other entrepreneurs or people who want to start their own businesses, especially women. And I think that, sometimes they just need a little extra encouragement that they can do it too, and that it's a process. We didn't wake up and got our items on the shelves like in one day. So it's definitely a journey. What advice do you give to other entrepreneurs?
Many, but ooh, I mean, for those who are starting, just keep that fire in there, because you're gonna one day feel like it's dimming, and it will come back, and it might be dead or it might stay dim. So I would say the most practical advice would be having good strategy. So like surrounding yourself with good advisors, or even your friends or your friends' parents, or whoever have the knowledge and experiences. Call them up, tell them the idea, like don't be afraid, ask them questions, ask people questions, just gather as much information and knowledge as possible. And for the emotional advice would be just, yeah, like I said, some days it will be dim, some days it will be bright, and you will feel strong. But the waves are different every day. Like some days it's like big waves, like, man, I don't want to wake up to this. Some days are like, oh, it's easy. So you have to understand that these are going to be happening. Like you have to expect these differences, and
Roller coasters.
right. Yeah.
No, I love that. And I completely agree with you. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and helping me get out of my comfort zone, in hopes that, we can help some entrepreneurs out there and or people who are looking to start their own business. I think it's just hearing from other people that are doing it, really can encourage them to take the first step. And I think for me, it's always about taking the first step. So
absolutely. I agree. And I feel like it's really, I'm not someone who's super successful or most knowledgeable, but it's very important to connect to people who go through the same journeys, because we will always support each other. That's just very important for you as someone carrying your big, baby all the way through. So thank you so much for having me. And I will always support you. You will always support me.
I will always support you. I love your products. Keep going and keep at it every day. Cause I know everyone's going to love it. I know I do. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.